Good morning, and good morning to your viewers at home.
All right, let's get exactly what this go slow is all about. What do you mean by a go slow?
The National Executive Committee had declared that we should embark on a work to rule, and work to rule means that we will only comply to the prescribed hours of work, where we are saying that the learners of our country, because we are defending collective bargaining and defending the future of our children, so work to rule then allows us to ensure that each and every learner is taught in our school. So we'll then stick to the 7 hours of our work, and therefore we do not do anything that is extra. We do not attend meetings, we do not attend workshops, we do not allow the officials of the department to come to our schools because they're disrupting the teaching of our learners. So in essence is that we are sticking to the minimum in terms of our contractual obligation. That's what we say in terms of our work to rule.
All right. Now your demands. Just go through your demands once again.
Like, our demands are very straightforward because are based on the fact that we have got to defend the future of our children and defend the future of our country, because we believe that in creating a learning nation, you need to defend the platform that is created for you to resolve dispute. And this particular platform has been vandalized by the Director General since 2009. And our demand is that we want that the collective bargaining be restored in terms of the payment of our markers. It must be paid with effect from 2011, 2012, and that particular collective agreement must then be maintained. We're also demanding that the rural allowance in Limpopo that was withdrawn without any notice, without any consultation at the level of the collective bargaining must be restored, must be reinstated with immediate effect. But we're also demanding that the Director General must be dismissed because he's the one who has really damaged the relationship. He's the one who has damaged the future of our children in this country by involving himself in a number of practices in the ELRC where he has abused the teachers' funds but also involved himself in this particular textbook saga in Limpopo. But we also have said that the minister must graciously resign because the minister has not been able to implement the presidential task team report where the minister was supposed to have investigated the Director General. But also we had made to the minister a request that the minister must investigate the Director General with regard to a number of practices that are not really inspiring, that are not really helping the country in terms of treasury regulation that are being flouted in Limpopo.
The minister was recently quoted as saying that she hasn't really been briefed on the go slow and hasn't really seen the impact of anything happening. I mean, do you think the communication between Sadtu and the department is good enough? What is it like? What have you heard from her? Has she responded at all to this?
The only response that we have received from the minister is the response that says she's sleeping, she's not worried, and therefore that to us confirmed that indeed if the minister can sleep when in essence the learners of our country are faced with teachers who are demoralized, that markers are not being paid, and the minister is able to sleep really, therefore it then says confirmed our position as an organization that therefore this country would need the minister who will inspire confidence, the minister who will really inspire all of us to work harder as per the calling by the president of our country, who is so committed to ensuring that we improve education, but also so committed that he wants the teachers' condition of service being improved. We have not seen that happening under the leadership of the minister. So basically that is the response that we have received from the minister. It is unfortunate that we receive such a response when in essence the learners are going to be suffering, because if teachers are not going to do extra work, that there's not going to be Saturday classes, that there's not going to be spring holiday classes and winter hot classes. Therefore, our learners are going to be suffering. And the minister says, look, I am sleeping. I am not worried.
Yeah. There's talk that this is going to cost provinces an extra 700 million rand if implemented. I mean, can we afford it?
Yes, we can afford it because as a country, and in particular in education, we have always been saying that we are involved in a system that is bureaucratizing rather than service delivery. You are seated with almost about 10 to 12 deputy director generals at the National Department of Education. That to me is a bad educational politics, because it means the money is not going where it's supposed to be going. So 700 million as compared to the corruption that is happening in all the provinces, for me is nothing. So we have a lot of money that is supposed to be used to ensure that we improve the condition of service of our teachers, because they are very critical to the learner achievement, to the quality of education that we must provide for our people in the country. So therefore the issue of money for me is not something that we're supposed to be debating. The 430 million that is going to be spent on the so-called biometrics for tracking teachers is the money that is supposed to be used to motivate teachers, not to track them.
Very quickly and finally, are you going to intensify this go slow? Could we see strike action?
Definitely, from the work to rule, we are moving towards having countrywide pickets on the 17th, and therefore that is going to culminate into the 2 national marches where we are bringing all the thousands of our teachers to ensure that they occupy Pretoria on the 24th of April, and the others will occupy the Parliament streets on the 24th of April in Cape Town. That is how we are going to be intensifying our struggle to ensure that we save collective bargaining from collapse, but also ensuring that no one can jeopardize the opportunities of our learners to learn. We love our children, we love this country, and we have got to build this particular country, and therefore we are saying leadership must be provided by the government.
All right, Mogwena Maluleke, the General Secretary of Sadtu, thank you very much for talking to us here on Morning Live.